Greetings, brothers. My name is Andrew Snorton. I'm a spring 1991 initiate through the Zeta chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated at Wake Forest University, charter member of our chapters in Duluth, Georgia, as well as Loganville, Conyers, Georgia. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with my chapter brother, as well as candidate for general president, Brother Hebrew Dixon. Brother Dixon, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing, my brother. All is well.
Great, great. And we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to speak a little bit about your campaign. Before you go into some of the underlying themes through which you're operating your campaign, walk through with brothers a little bit of your fraternity history from different chapters you've been a member of and a few of the leadership positions you've held in the
Absolutely.
fraternity.
I'll go back a little bit further. I'm a product of Dayton, Ohio. I attended North Carolina A&T State University. And in fall of 1981, I had the pleasure of being initiated pledging on the Murphy's Law line. I'm number 5, the Monarch. My brother lines are 6 of us that we engage with. And just so proud to be a member of Beta Epsilon. While at A&T, I was not only a drum major, I was not only a founder of the Engineering Honor Society, I was not only a member of the Council of Presidents, but I was a proud chapter president. And while at A&T, I engaged leadership in the fraternity. I took serious the issues of leadership, scholarship, and service. I was elected Assistant Regional Vice President of Southern Region and served in that position proudly and learned so much by being mentored and tutored by the leaders of Alpha at that time, the Lionel Newsoms, the Ozell Suttons, the Brother Witherspoon, Brother Perry, Brother Henderson, all those things that fed me and gave me the opportunity to learn Alpha in the trenches. I say that because that's, for me, where it makes the most sense, in the district meetings, in the regional meetings, and then as a national brother in different capacities. If we turn the page, I was in chapters in Dayton, Ohio. I was in chapters in Greenville, South Carolina. I was in chapters in Detroit. I was in chapters in Indianapolis and Chattanooga, Tennessee. So those are the main ones that I'd like to share with you this afternoon that gave me, again, a sense of brotherhood, gave me an opportunity to engage with brothers at all levels, economically strong and brothers that are struggling. And I know from the concepts of manly deeds, scholarship, and love for all mankind, I was prepared and nurtured by the leaders of Alpha. Not only the leaders, but some of the brothers that work in the trenches that you never hear about that I've served on committees with, and just excited to be able to wring my rag out as relates to the leader of this great organization for such a time as this.
And I definitely appreciate you sharing, your fraternity ties, because brothers want to know, point blank. Now, beyond brotherhood, we know that part of what makes you who you are is through the lens of professionalism and community. Can you share briefly with us 1 or 2 things you do professionally, maybe 1 or 2 things you do community-wise, and how that helps you in regards to a lot of your concepts with service and leadership?
Absolutely. As I left Baltimore, I'm the 21st executive director of this august body. Just proud to be the 21st executive director. I was recruited by Russell to be the administrative manager of a $5.6 billion airport expansion program. At A&T, I learned architectural engineering from the best and brightest on the planet. I began my construction career with Turner Construction, and for the last 30 plus years, I've been in the construction space, building convention centers, building hospitals, building parks and plaza in Chattanooga, Tennessee in particular, and working in the airport space, building restaurants and restrooms and hallways, and engaging Black and brown businesses. Half of my career, it was in construction management, and I'm an owner of Circle D Enterprises, and I built many buildings and organized many things in that space. But more importantly, I began to engage in supplier diversity and helping people and engaging Black and brown businesses to be a part of the economic space wherever the time frame was. And 30 years ago, it was one thing. 20 years ago is another. But today we're talking about economic development in a new way. I've heard every story about failing businesses. I've heard every story about successful business. And I'm so excited to be able to wring that rag out. So I'm a multi-talented person in business and in nonprofit world. I'm a founder of what is called the Greater Atlanta Economic Alliance. It's an organization I founded as a part of airport expansion. It is still ongoing right now with contracts, United States Department of Transportation, where we engage the trench work with Black and brown businesses of this country to be able to make them stronger, make them feel prouder, make them engage the idea of how economic development works for their children. And lastly, I like to share from an organization perspective, nonprofit notwithstanding, I am so proud to be an elder in the AME Church. I serve under the 6th Episcopal District. My bishop is
Reverend. To those, can you speak of any other community or civic engagement?
Absolutely. In every place that I've lived, I've always worked with youth. Being in Chattanooga with Black Achievers, being in Atlanta, creating training programs for youth, engaging high school experiences with an organization called, as I was board chair, Atlanta Center for Creative Inquiry, now called Spike Studios, where we address the issue of the disparity of Black architects in this country. We train many young, thriving architects as they work now. And one in particular, young lady that was a North Carolina A&T graduate, we sent her to Harvard. She got a graduate degree at Georgia State Georgia Tech, and she is a prominent, proud architect right now. So those are the kinds of things that I've engaged with, notwithstanding going back to A&T, working with the students as chairman of our architectural alumni organization, making sure that they see the value of bringing back what you've been blessed with, engaging in students, engaging with faculty, and making sure they had pathways to opportunities, to economic opportunities. But one of my most proudest moments that I've been able, and I want to share with you this evening, is that I have a son and he is an alpha. Arthur Spears pledged at Beta Epsilon on the 2015 line. He's a proud brother doing amazing work for his company in Procter & Gamble. So I'm excited to be able to take what I've learned and engage with young brothers like him and even younger brothers, because right now, when we talk about our campaign, we talk about the torch. The torch was created by our founders to be an enlightenment. We want to make sure that we have this relevancy at every generation. My run is 41 years. Everywhere I've gone, I try to get the torch as high and as hot as we can. I want to be able to pass it off to those that are behind me and give them the necessary tools to lead this organization in the world we live in right now. I'm excited to be able to take all those different experiences, professional, religious, community, and Alpha Phi Alpha, and all different aspects of the fraternity, and being able to engage with brothers, all types of brothers, to make sure that we can be the best alpha that we can. Our motto is generational relevance. It's clear to me that as we look at the Black and brown experience, we have to be relevant in every generation. And my brother, I'll tell you what excites me the most is our potential. I'm so excited to be running for this 37th general president because I believe in alpha. I believe that we can do all things if we engage in the collective strength of what I call alpha capital. And I'll share with you as we begin to close, one of my greatest fraternal experiences was being a part of the Martin Luther King Memorial Project. As executive director, I was involved with the founding principles and organization of as it was growing from one to the other. As a part of the industry, I was on the design committee from the very beginning to the very end. I had the unique honor of being up on the statue as Martin was lowering his arms and they were putting him in place. And all the research and cultivation that was exhibited by the committee and engaged by the world to be able to have a beacon of hope and beacon of strength. Those are the kinds of things that the fraternity should rally behind. Those are the kind of ideas that we have embraced since our history. As we talk about our jewels, and as we talk about their dealings in Cornell during the turn of the century, we've faced some of the same challenges right now. I'm excited that we can look at Alpha in a way, celebrate our success, because we are amazing. We're the strongest and we're the baddest. We always talk about that. Now we want to make sure we sharpen our iron, iron sharpens iron, brothers working together, engaging the concepts of alpha capital, and making sure we can be the best as we move forward in this next history of our fraternity.
And I'm so glad you shared not only your skill sets and attributes through the lens of fraternity, through the lens of professional, through the lens of community, but you've explained and articulated the underlying theme and premise behind your campaign. And I'm excited as we continue to do these types of chats, when we start to break down specific components of your campaign or your platform, people understand this is the lens through which you're operating. So it's a synthesis of best practices within Alpha, best professional practices, best community practices, and thinking not only of the present, but for the foreseeable future. So I'm
Absolutely.
glad you were able to articulate that. And in setting the tone for tonight, before we start bringing everything to a close, if people didn't gather all the moving parts, what would you want to say to summarize so again people know the lens through which you're
Absolutely.
operating, and when you have these more detailed conversations about parts of your platform that they understand this is how you plan on operating?
I operate on the principle that 2 and 2 equals 5. The sum is always greater than the parts. In my career, professionally, religiously, and in the fraternal space, always been able to ground myself that I'm a servant leader. This for me is the most important thing to engage, because as we talk about our prayer, as we engage those principles of the fraternity, we have to be humble, and we have to be able to walk with kings and not lose the common touch, as the poem says. So I want brothers and others to understand that it's not about me. It's not about Brother Dixon. It's about how I've been blessed in my life, how I've been able to learn and grow through the concepts of Alpha and engage with opportunities as they come before me, and that they understand that this conversation is one that we take with the utmost serious. You have to have known where we come to be able to lead where we must go. This is a time unprecedented that we have to begin to retool and benefit from all our successes to be able to move forward in a humble and a servant way, but without apologizing for taking bold steps. How we're going to craft the next 20 to 50 years of this august body, and how we engage in the Black and brown communities across this world.
Well, Brother Dixon, we definitely thank you for taking time to at least help set the tone, again, the lens through which you're operating. And as we have these conversations, as you go in depth and detail about different pieces of your platform, that people have a good understanding. If people would like to learn more about your platform, whether it's a website, social media, and or if people would like to see how else they can support, what are the best
Absolutely.
ways for brothers to stay connected and engaged?
We're actually exciting. We excited today. We have a website. It's Dixon for a phi phia dot com. We're excited about that website. It shares our platform. It shares how to get involved. But today we are launching what we call our app. We have an alpha app. It's called Hebrew Dixon. You can go to the App Store, or you can go to the iPhone store, and you can pull up the app, and you can engage all the things that we discuss in the platform. You can talk about how some brothers in this space are sharing their what they do, if you will, to be able to engage with them. And if you have any questions, that's the time to engage. If you want to support the campaign in any way, because right now the most important thing is hearts and minds, and making sure that we have all the people that need to be in our space having conversations that are substance-based, that deals with generational relevancy, that gets us ready to take the mantra of this organization to the next chapter of its growth. More importantly, we want young brothers to understand this is yours. I'm 41 plus. I'm doing this because I want to make sure that my grandson has an alpha that they can be proud of. And that's because those young brothers that come behind me are going to carry their torch just as I did, as high as they can, and do all they can to make alpha shine.
Well, Brother Dixon, we thank you so much for taking time, out of your schedule to help set the tone in regards to, again, the lenses through which you operate, and look forward to continuing conversations
Absolutely.
where we can discuss specific components of your platform, how you envision them being implemented, but also surrounding yourself with high quality, high caliber leadership to go ahead and get
Absolutely.
the job done. We thank you so much.
Thank you as well, my brother.
And until next time, you take very good care.
Absolutely. All right. Take care.
To find out more about the platform for Hebrew Dixon for General President, make sure to go to your Apple or Google Play Store to download the app as you see right here. You'll be connected with the website, social media, and more. As always, take good care. Have a good day.